right, guys, we are live, and as with every other 21 the podcast, I'm going to make sure that this audio is working. I know we had problems here at the start. I don't have Marcos with me today, so. Oh, yeah, we're golden. We're golden. So I'd like to welcome you guys into 21 the podcast. If this is your first time here, make sure you scroll down and you click subscribe. And if it's your second, third, fourth, fifth time, thank y'all for sticking with me, man. 21 the podcast is kicking off right. If you haven't been here with us throughout the weekend, what we have been doing, we've actually been here in New York City covering the stock market, the Robinhood, the Gamestop, the Wall Street bets, all types of wild stuff. So I'm going to try to keep it a little cleaner than typical as we do have a sponsor for this episode. Sponsor is Band.video. Now, because of captioning on YouTube, I want to be careful about pitching the actual store. But if you do go to Band.video, the banner is right at the top in order to help these guys keep the fight going. My name is Drew. And again, this is 21 the podcast. So what we're going to do is I'm basically just going to break down a few of the things that happened. I did go live from Times Square a little earlier today, and I was upset with the quality of audio. And then, of course, as soon as I start the podcast here, we have audio issues. But we've got that under control now, and I'm happy to say that I'm just going to talk about everything that I talked about there anyways. So to do a little bit of backstory on everything that we've been doing here in New York City. We got here on Friday night, right after the close of market. On Thursday, Robinhood had shut down all trading for Gamestop, AMC, so on and so forth, as I'm sure you've heard from my last reports. Since it has seemed like Wall Street bets has lost a little bit of its luster. Now, where's it going to go from here is the question, because like I said earlier, all the issues that arise with this actual event seem to cross the political divide. Like, it doesn't matter if you're on the left, it doesn't matter if you're on the right. What matters is the fact that the financial institution and the establishment is showing their blatant disrespect, their blatant disregard, and committing clear market manipulation to where it's not for us. All the tools that have been given to us are not to be used by us to create wealth for ourselves. And if it is taking away from any of these big banks or big hedge funds, then this is clearly a problem. Now, before I keep going, we're here in New York City, where our hotel was nice enough to let us use their media room down here. As you can see behind me, they're shoveling snow because they just had a wild winter storm come through here in New York City. It's been snowing all day. We were on the American Journal with Harrison Smith earlier this morning, taking phone calls, and I was standing literally on Wall Street in the middle of this blizzard, couldn't see straight, and I think a lot had to do with the last live stream's audio being a little terrible. The snow that we had to endure and that our equipment had to endure, it just wasn't taking it anymore. Greg Reese commented and then retracted his statement. I hope it was a good statement, Greg Reese. Shouts to Greg Reese. If y'all don't know about Greg Reese, make sure you search Greg Reese on YouTube. He has some really crazy reports, really eye-opening stuff, and hopefully he sticks around on YouTube for a while, because it does seem that they are after him. But going back into the stock market, so basically what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to show you guys a little bit what did happen in the market today. Oh, my mic flag is tattered and worn, Greg. Shouts to Sunshine, too, for my quality control. It does look tattered and worn, and it looks this way because we have been in a blizzard. We've been in a blizzard all day. Now, I do want to talk a couple of things about New York City for myself. This is my second time here. The first time here, I didn't really get to experience the city much. Second time here, Uh, both times it was snowing. First off, now this time that I'm here, uh, I actually got to ride the subway. That was a pretty cool experience until it doesn't it's not really the signage could be better. I feel like people that come here and ride the subway have absolutely no idea what's going on. So it was helpful there was a few helpful New Yorkers to show us the way and help us get to where we were going, as we did make our way to Times Square, because like I said, the winter storm hit, and Bill de Blasio actually put in a state of emergency for the city, saying that no cars could be on the road unless it was essential or emergency. So we were still able to take the subway. A lot of the subway stations that are actually above ground weren't operating today. I'm not sure what kind of toll that actually took on the city, but where we were traveling through, it was all underground, so we were able to get in, get out, everything like that. We did see a little bit of oddness. Did you there was this lady there, and she just kept saying hi, and I mean, sweetheart. Anyways, another cool thing about New York City is the bodegas. Now, before actually knowing what a bodega was, my knowledge of it was from Half Baked with Dave Chappelle, being able to go in there and buy different types of paraphernalia of your choice. But we do actually have a bodega right here, right out here, to the right, I guess, of y'all's screen. Yeah, to the right of y'all's screen, right outside the door. And it's 24 hours, right? So as soon as we found that out, we were like, okay, cool. So, I'll be able to get my Red Bulls, everything like that, and go about my business. But this place also cooks hot food. Now, this food, though, the extent of their menu is insane. Everything from pancakes to Thai food to chicken nuggets to mozzarella sticks. Like, this place has everything. And to be 24 hours in the state of emergency that New York is, with the blizzard coming through, that really became a thing. Look at this guy behind me. It's just out there shoveling snow. Now, we were talking about it earlier, too, about the fact of how much these people are shoveling snow on the sidewalks, and we're wondering if it's actually because the sidewalks are city property, and if you wind up slipping on the sidewalk. But there are a lot of places that aren't shoveling snow, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just weird, because it's like, while the snow is pouring down, it's like, oh, let's shovel it now. Maybe, I don't know, never had to shovel snow. But walking in the snow today was crazy. There was points where we were walking through 12 to 14 inches of snow, just trudging through it. I am also going to be going to some of you guys' comments today too. I'm going to try to keep up with that. I have that over here to the right on my computer screen. I am actually running the show. I hope somebody would just come behind here and just like say something funny, or just like start beating on the window. That would really make my broadcast live. But let's get into it, guys. We're going to talk a little bit about what went on in the market today, and see how things reacted. Now, the first thing I want to show you guys is GameStop. Now, this was the biggest one that everybody was curious about, because last week on Wednesday went on a huge run. I'll even take you through that. From $100 goes up to, what was its peak? $468. That's 429% just for the week. Now, if you look back here, you can see Sunshine says, go back there and start a fight outside, bro. And we'll just have that in the back. Oh yeah, we have a beer out there in the snow that Rob has to go grab, so he's gonna get that here in a second. But yeah, okay, looking back at GameStop, just at the beginning of the month on January 6th, we're looking at 1838. So if you just keep scrolling through here, like it's on a steady pace up, and that's when they originally first got started. Wall Street Bets started just taking it on, slowly buying. Now I'm assuming a lot of the resources that they accumulated through this was through options trading, and as it got bigger and bigger, like just going from that right there, 1987, into this $55 range. Like, you're making tons of money if you're trading options. But then you go over here, and from the 25th to the 27th, you see it go from $77. Let's see at the lowest point right there from the 25th, 69 to 371. Now that is a 2,000% change from the beginning of that month, and it's just nuts. So last week had a super high peak. Of course, this is when they stopped trading. The day after that, they stopped trading, and you see it just shot down to 126 from the high of 468. Now, tons of people had already made a lot of money off this stock, just off trading stocks alone. Now, the question was, oh yeah, thank you, Rob. Rob also handed me a letter to our Robinhood community from Robinhood, and we're actually going to go down that here in a second as well. So all that happened, and then today opened up, and today was the question of, how is Wall Street going to actually react to the events of last week? In pre-market, up to 317, up to 317. And then as soon as the market opened up, quick dip down to 293. Now that was the first sign of what was to come, especially in my eyes. Like, the only reason I didn't buy options to bet against this stock was just out of solidarity for the movement. And then soon after, I think it was at 11:20 or 9:25. That's when it got down to the 212. Now, when they got down to the 212, they had started halting trading, and it was a little curious to me of the reason of it. Was it just sheer volume of sales, which brings back the theory that Robinhood initially didn't have enough money to cover all of these option bets that were being made off of GameStop. That still hasn't been, officially announced, but I mean, we are going to read this letter to our Robinhood community here in a second. But the day of the initial halting, the Robinhood company did take on $1 billion investment from their investors. So, I mean, it kind of all links up there. So it did get down to 212, excuse me, around 9:30 a.m. I'm not sure if I'm looking at Eastern time or Central, but throughout the day, it never got as low as that. Now, after hours is the problem. It started taking it down even more, and now we're looking at, where are we at right now? We're at 189.52. So just throughout the day, it was 30% down, down $100, and in after hours, another $35. So it seems as though either the people that are supposedly holding the line are no longer doing so, which, hey, I cannot blame them. Like I said with Harrison Smith earlier this morning, when I see profits, I take profits. That's kind of my only advice I would really give anybody. And I don't want to say that's advice because, hey, I'm still starting out. I'm still learning every day with this. And with all the GameStop stuff, fundamentals are starting to go out of the window. Now, before I move on to the next stock, I do want to see if I can create a new thing for you guys real quick so I can actually read y'all the letter from Robinhood. And let's see here. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Bear with me, guys. Where is this thing at? All right, Chrome. Let's take this over here. Take this over here. Boom. And boom. All right. Doesn't look great, but it'll do. All right. So, where'd you find that at, Rob? Did they just send it to you on Robinhood? Yeah. Okay. A letter to our Robinhood community. There we go. 4 hours ago. All right, you can take that from here, Rob. Thank you. Okay, so a letter to our Robinhood community. To our Robinhood community, since day one, we've worked to put financial power into the hands of everybody, not just the select few. Okay, starting off pretty pretty aggressive. We believe the financial system should be built to work for everyone. Now, this mission at its core is fundamentally shifting the financial landscape. At this moment, we are witnessing a massive transformation across the financial markets. The intersection of technology, democracy, and finance is ushering in an entirely new era of financial participation. And amidst this movement, many of you have questions about decisions Robinhood made last week and what you can expect from the firm going forward. There is a lot of confusion or confusing information out there, and while we have tried to provide clarity as best we can, we want you to hear directly from us. Simply put, Robinhood limited buying in volatile securities to ensure it complied with deposit regulations. Okay. We posted an in-depth explanation on our blog on Friday. We'll hope you take a look at it. I'm going to go ahead and open that tab up too, just in case. And Friday, we hope you take a look at it. Robinhood is about expanding everyday investors' ability to invest, to be trusted and responsible platform you can rely on. Robinhood has to operate within the existing regulatory environment. We have to make progressive strides while simultaneously complying with laws and regulations outside of our control. In that spirit, as we move forward, we want you to know that empowering you is what guides every decision we make. Now, okay, let me finish their letter before I go ahead and off on my thing. Okay. Robinhood has always sought to put you, our customers, first. Standing by our Robinhood community means being a responsible partner and being there for our customers through any trading environment and communicating about the rules our industry faces and how we are living up to them so we can be here for you for decades to come. That's a high standard, one we seek to meet and exceed every day. We are committed to seizing this moment as an opportunity to continue to improve and Yeah, all this is okay. Now it's kind of bullshit. So when it's a PR statement, I mean, of course, that's what we're going to hear from Robinhood. We're not going to get the truth immediately from these guys. There is going to be an investigation. We all know that. From Wall Street Bets to Robinhood, we're going to see. I'm sorry if my voice starts getting a little shaky. It's a little chilly in here. We have an entire. What's going on? Democracy and progressive, yeah.
Catering to both sides.
Yeah. Well, they are trying to. So Rob brings up the point that they used up democracy and progressiveness, and you know, I don't think that's as a big a deal as them blatantly saying this platform is for you. We're concerned about you. I mean, just in one day, they're able to come up with $1 billion from investors. Now, that's where the problem lies, because who are these investors? What kind of ties are they having to, the actual stocks that are being moved around? What is their position? So on and so forth. I mean, we can go on for days. It was one problem when the people were making money. No one ever stopped anyone from losing money. I think what Mobile Noel is trying to say in the comments is that basically nobody stopped the trading when Wall Street's making the money, but as soon as the people are making the money and Wall Street is losing tons of it, that's when the rules are starting to change. I made the analogy earlier on with Harrison. It's kind of like, and I don't know if you guys watch The Office, but it's kind of like the episode where Michael has a basketball game against the warehouse workers, and as soon as he gets fouled, he's kind of, he's done playing. He can see they're outmatched and outgunned. Then he was like, you know what? Let's just stop the game. You know what? That's it. Let's just stop the game. And they're like, okay, well, who won? And he was like, well, whoever's up. And they're like, well, you're up, Michael. Well, the problem is that, well, the difference is with this is that it's almost like the warehouse workers told, by being down, the warehouse workers told Michael and the entire office to just take a seat, go ahead and sit down while we go ahead and run a couple layups and just get our points back to where we're supposed to be, to where we're up. That's where they recalibrated their positions. So take it as you will. I was happy for Harrison to actually put part of that episode in there. That made me extremely happy that he knew exactly what I was talking about. But let's go back into Robinhood and see where we are at with that. Did I mess up everything? All right, here we go. All right, so Gamestop, we already went through that. Let's take a look at AMC. AMC, I believe, was in a similar position. Let's see here. Yeah, so AMC went up 4 cents on the day, now down about 6%. Went up from about 16, 17 bucks down to 12. Let's see what their high was on the week. High of the week was right at about 20 bucks. So I mean, every stock that was a YOLO stock seems to follow this same sort of pattern. Now Nokia, on the other hand, let's see what they're at. Because I believe they actually got up a little bit. Yeah, up a little bit today, about 7%. I don't see Nokia getting back to these points. I do have bets open to where they get to these points, because I am seeing a lot on the Wall Street Bets Reddit forum that, you know, there's still a lot of people talking about that. They want people to buy more Nokia. The problem is that Robinhood has limits on these amounts of buys that you can do, options as well as stock. So even if they were able to, you know, buy in, they can only buy in a certain amount, which is not going to shoot it back up to these types of prices, 774s and so on and so forth. I think I have a call on it for like 650. And I got it like as soon as I heard Nokia was going out of there. So like that option went crazy. And then as soon as it opened up the next day, it was right back down. I think it was negative. But now I got to the point to where the options on it are so low, I went ahead and doubled up on it to just kind of even out that options price on it. So if it does go up a little bit more, I can actually make some money on that. Now, another thing that Wall Street Bets is talking about is silver. Now, they're saying that silver is, excuse me real quick while I wet my whistle. Now, Wall Street Bets is saying that the attempt for a short squeeze on silver is to divert them, meaning the people in the group of Wall Street Bets, to change their position on GameStop, go ahead and sell, and buy into silver. While this may be true, like I said before, I couldn't say I would be in the position of where GameStop was at, even at its peak, especially at its peak. I can't say that I wouldn't have sold right there. That's just the way I move in the market now. This is a unique circumstance to where, out of solidarity, like I said this morning, I mean, if I would have bought that short on GameStop this morning, I would have been rolling in the dough. Probably would have been doing this live stream from a steakhouse. I'd be sitting outdoors in the snow, of course, being in New York. But anyways, let's get back to silver. So silver did go up a little bit today, about $1.50. Or was this? Okay, so it actually shot up from $25 at the end of market. Was that the end of market last time? What's today, the 1st? Okay, so yeah. So just in today, it went up about $2. Okay, no. Okay, I was right. About $1.50 today. Now silver is interesting because there are a lot of ways that it could be played. I've been talking to some of the people back at the office that suggests if you do buy silver to actually request the physical delivery of your silver, um, because eventually you get to the point to because there's a finite amount of silver in the world today. Um, so once you start actually requesting this silver and actually getting it into the to your hands, you're putting banks like JP Morgan in a position to where it's like, holy shit, now what are we supposed to do with this all this paper silver that we have? We don't even have the silver to actually back this. um, so if that happens, if people do start short squeezing silver, requesting physical delivery of their silver, things could. I really believe that that could be the kill shot to the big banks. But who am I? I'm just speculating here. I did buy a couple options in silver just to see what turns out of that. Um, in my personal stock group, they were asking about, or they were saying that gold is a better option than silver, which of course I believe in. I love gold. I love gold. But I don't know. You know, I guess let's see what gold even goes for on here. I don't even know what's the actual gold stock. Is it GLD? I think it's GLD. I don't think it's actual gold. Okay, this is the SPDR Gold Trust. I don't know what the fuck that means. Excuse me for the profanity, guys. If this is your first time on 21 the podcast, this is just how it goes. So make sure you subscribe. It's just gold? Okay. Let's go that way. I don't know. Well, yeah, it's saying, but it's also saying this is Canadian. Toronto, Ontario, Toronto. Anyways, let's get back into it. Sundial is actually another one that's in my personal stock group that they've been talking about. I haven't had time to come over here and look at it. I guess now's a better time than ever. Oh yeah, so through the week, this looks like they started out about 51 cents. Now they're at 121. A lot of my group members there make quite a bit of money on the options trading sundial growers. I think GNUS was another one that they were looking at. Let's go ahead and look at that as well. Now I'm just doing research for tomorrow to see what we're going to be doing. Let's see. Now this wasn't as big of a. You did see a lot of talk about this on Wall Street Bets, and of course, as you can see right here, this is the product of that. And the next day, Wall Street called that pretty quickly. It's just insane. Like to see these spikes, and then to everybody's excited for the next day of trading, and I wonder if that's what knocked the wind out of everybody's sails. I think that, I mean, of course, it had to have something to do with it because, like I said, just with my Nokia option, just the one option I had, I think that went up close to 400%. And I was just like, okay, well, I'll let it ride. With Robinhood, you can't do too many day trades. So I was like, why waste it? I'll wake up in the morning. It was at the peak of its hype. I was like, let's just see how it goes. And then let's go back to Nokia. And then the next day, it was just like check it out. Like they say 774. This thing went up to $9 at one point. Of course, Robinhood doesn't accurately go through things like that. But look, so from 663 one night, the next day you're down to 528, and it was just kind of obvious and blatantly obvious that the market was not appreciating what was going on, and it was time to shut it down. Now, Robinhood made sure to take care of that and make sure that everyone was not able to trade. That's an interesting point. Alex Drones puts into the comments right now, if the banks get screwed over, where they start collecting on the national debt. Well, the national debt. I don't know enough about it to talk about it. I really think. I mean, with the amount of money that we're giving other countries, the amount of money that we spend on, our military industrial complex, uh, it's a fugazi, it's a fugazi, it's a wazzle, it's a woozle. No, it's fictitious. Like I mean, this is nothing because as soon as America needs something, they're gonna go and get it. That national debt makes no sense. There's like a global debt, and like, okay, if there's a global debt, who exactly do we owe? It makes absolutely no sense. Um, yeah, so as much money as we give out to other people, but we're in debt. I mean, who knows what's going on, guys? But so I just wanted to come on here and point out a few things that was going on with with Robinhood throughout this weekend and week. It's gonna be. I don't think much is gonna get done about this. Honestly, at the best, they're gonna write up legislation, which of course takes time. Um, And in the meantime, if anything were to go on a run, if they were to, choose some other stock to go after that doesn't have limits on buying and do this same thing again, I would not be surprised to see Robinhood and Wall Street to do the exact same thing. I mean, why wouldn't they? What kind of trouble have they gotten in so far? What has this proven that they can do? Exactly what they did: manipulate the media. I mean, manipulate the market, which, I mean, manipulation of media is an entire other thing, but they manipulated the market blatantly. They shut it down in order for these hedge funds and investment firms. We got Rob back here throwing snowballs. Yeah, that's story of the podcast right there. Look at that. Oh God. Oh no. Oh no. Um, Shouts to Rob for being out here with me. He's been doing a lot of the filming. The lady's looking at him like, "What the hell is he doing?" All right, stop before they kick us out of this place. They were super gracious for letting us film down here. But yeah, guys, this may be one of the last reports that comes out of New York City now, or at least for this particular trip. We had shot a few reports earlier, and then I realized that by the time I actually get this thing edited and done with, it may not even be relevant anymore, as this situation is continuously changing and updating. We're getting new material throughout, and also, just as a personal thing of mine, when as soon as I saw that the audio was bad on the last live stream, I was like, all right, cut it. We're not going to put it up. I want to take that down, and then had the idea of like, well, I have everything here. Let's just go ahead and do the actual show. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank you guys for subscribing. I want to thank you guys for watching the other reports that we've been putting out. And I also, again, want to thank our sponsor. That's Band.video. Now, if you go to Band.video at the top banner, that will show their store, and they definitely deserve your support. They definitely deserve the viewership, because there is media manipulation as well. Basically, the entire establishment is trying to fuck us, and quite frankly, I'm sick of it. I think that this instance in the market opens the eyes of other people to be sick of it as well, and to realize that this is happening right in our faces, to where even if we wanted to, it seems like we couldn't do anything about it. Um, there was the Reoccupy Wall Street event that we went to yesterday. Um, Not as big as a turnout as they would have hoped, but I do take the theory that this is an internet fight. This is an online fight. So I do, if you haven't already, suggest going to Wall Street Bets on Reddit, taking a look at their forum, participate. Um, if you do trade or you're just starting off the trade because of all of this, what I recommend as well is talking to some of your friends. I bet a lot of your friends are also first time traders or new to trading, or maybe they've been trading for a while. Start a group chat. I've been in the group chat that I'm in since it was a couple weeks before the March 18th lows. Now, I do believe, because I do still have, actually, before I go, I want to show you guys this as well. Because I've kept shorts on S&P, just because I do believe that this thing is going to be coming down at some point or another. Just because from the March 18th lows and to see the bull market that we were looking at, since then, has been tremendous. So for it to be propped up like this, I keep asking people in the stock market group, and we keep asking each other, what is it going to take for this bubble to pop? Because we're clearly in a bubble. Clearly. Like, there's no way that all these companies are truly valuated for what they're actually worth. Now, does this have a lot to do with first-time traders because of seeing the lows and jumping in and having the ability to have Robinhood at our fingertips and start trading and start buying stock and the fact that it's so easy now? Does that have a lot to do with the run? Yeah, probably so. But for us to shut our country down, for all these small businesses to be closing, for everybody to be out of work, and for most of the people who are eligible for stimulus checks still not getting their stimulus checks. It's just outrageous to think that the market that we're in is an actual thing. And I think this week actually proved it. Now, I want to show you guys just how the S&P went right before COVID started, right around Valentine's Day of last year. 338. That was close to an all-time high, if not an all-time high. Then went down to 222, and I believe the actual number was closer to 218. But from then on, now we're back at all-time. We've hit so many all-time highs, and it even was odd to me when the election was going on. There's so many questions with that, and then there was the January 6th incident, and none of this really seemed to affect it. January 6th, there was a slight dip in there, but it always, typically, the market hates uncertainty. So for the uncertain times we're in, it sure doesn't seem like it anymore. But hey, I still have puts in the market because I think this bitch is coming down. And when it does, although it'll be a sad time for the country, a sad time for the people not making money, I don't relish in saying that I will be doing quite well. I'm lying. I relish in it. I relish in it hard. Anyways, again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys click subscribe. Make sure you guys go to band.video. If there are any questions that you guys may have, make sure to leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to research and answer these questions to the best of my ability. Or if you have questions, there's this thing. It's called Google. You just type it in there, and I promise you, there's tons of answers on there. It's wild. I'm not even joking. But no, seriously, guys, I really appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you subscribe before you go. And yeah, I've been ending everything with hold the line, but I think that line has been dropped. I think people are falling back, hopefully collecting nice profits. And so I guess if I had to end with something, I would say if you see profits, take profits. I'm Drew. I'll see y'all next time.